Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Welcome back to my free-to-play series. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is a series where I'm playing through DDO on a fresh free-to-play account, using only what I find, also not using any auction house, any handy-downs from other players, no ship buffs, nothing like that. So, last episode, we went through a bunch of level 11 quests, and we're going to finish the last level 11 quest here first, which is that I have that's free to play, which is Spawn of Whisperdoom. And after we do that, we're going to go and run a Relic of a Sovereign Past. I have a lot to say about both of these quests. Relic of the Sovereign Past, if you might remember, was the quest I've referenced earlier in the series, where I farmed out at level 9 this item, which is the Nightforge Gorget. There's a section of Relic of the Sovereign Past where you can collect some ores. It's adamantine ores, and there's an NPC actually inside the quest. You can trade those ores for some really cool gear. So I'll show you what all that is and how you can do that when we get to that section. There's also some hidden items here in the first quest, Spawn of Whisperdoom. There's some 3 different items which you can find scattered throughout the dungeon in random places, and if you find one of those, you can turn it into this guy over here to my right, which is an NPC that can trade it in for a chance at some items. There's one item which is pretty nice, which if you find what I actually found it when I was unlocking these quests on Elite. I actually found one of them, which is the goblet, but there's 3 items in that quest that you can turn into that guy for a chance at some name loot. So I'll show you how that works later, but as far as gear and updates to the character, really nothing to say other than I did manage to get a Katra's Wit. So on my Twitch stream, I've been running this character on normal and hard just to unlock it on quests on Elite so I can record these videos for YouTube on Elite. And during one of those runs, I ran through the Lord's March free-to-play chain, the Diplomatic Impunity quests, that quest, and the other 2 quests, the 3-quest free-to-play chain on normal. And as I was doing that, did manage to get a Katra's Wit. There's 2 other items in this set. I mean, for free-to-play. I mean, this is a real nice set that I'll probably be using as free-to-play, since it's one of the few set bonus items available to me. So and it actually fits this build well, because this ring is charisma item, and then there's some gloves and a helmet, which one of those is wisdom item, one of them's a strength item. So I believe the strength items, the gloves, Matea's Fist, I believe, is the item, and then Teresa's Sight, I think, is the helmet, if I remember correctly. But those are a nice a few items I may get for this character. And I also managed to get a myth when I picked up this Katra's Wit. I was also lucky enough for it to have a mythic bonus on it. So in DDO, I think I might have explained this before in other videos in this series, but if not, there's a random chance for you to have mythic or reaper bonuses on any named item, and the chance goes up if you run on higher difficulties. The higher difficulty you run, the better chance of it, but you can get it on any difficulty. So I managed to, on normal, get a mythic ring boost +1. So this item, in addition to its normal traits, also has a mythic +1, which gives me a +1 bonus to my melee, ranged, and universal spell power. And the cool thing about mythic bonuses is they don't work like normal stacking in DDO. So stacking in DDO, typically items of the same effect don't stack. So if you have 2 insightful stat items, say you have 2, let's just say +3 insightful combat mastery items, right? That will not stack with each other. But mythic items work a little differently. They all actually stack with each other. So if you have a mythic +1 on a ring, and then another mythic +1 on, say, a helmet slot or something, then both of those will stack to give you a mythic +2. So yeah, so it's always nice to get mythic. If you're lucky enough to get mythic bonuses on your items, it's cool to get. But all right, let's start with Spawn of Whisperdoom. So Spawn of Whisperdoom, right over here through this carriage. So this, kind of like Dreams of Insanity we ran in a previous episode, this has the path to Whisperdoom, which is its own exclusive little mini Slayer area. So there's the quest entrance. You can do this optional, just kill slay stuff if you want here. I'm just going to run through. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to run through the quest entrance here. We'll step in on Elite. Getting a little bit of noise from my PC fan. Hopefully it's not too distracting for you guys. But if you hear a little hum in the background, that's what it is. My fan decided to start kicking in as I entered this quest. Okay, so this quest, fairly straightforward. What we're going to do first is we're going to go to the southeast area here, kill a bunch of mobs, go through some traps, and get a key. And then what we're going to do after that, the second phase of this quest, We kill the spider. The second phase is we go to this northeast, and there's certain thresholds of certain spiders and like ogre magi type enemies that we got to kill to meet a quest requirement, which we'll get to after that. And then the last phase of the quest is we go to the west and find Whisperdoom and kill Whisperdoom. So that's how we're going to handle this. So we're heading to the east first. This is a quest where you do want to watch your hireling a little bit, just because there are some, if you're playing on elite difficulty or Reaper, there's going to be some deadly traps. And I actually did not buff. Let me go ahead and, well, after we kill these mobs, I'm going to go ahead and buff. So it's really not a bad idea. And I'm going to, after this fight, I'm going to park my hireling. It's not a bad idea to park your hireling here and just leave it in place until you need some heals if you are using a hireling. So these magi guys, I'm not sure if I killed that one or not. They like to despawn themselves and then respawn sometimes. Yeah, there he is. See this guy right here. Yeah, this guy. Ogre, yeah, this ogre magi guy. They will despawn and then reappear. So let me go ahead and buff before I forget. So here's the first of the traps. So this is also the first quest I'm running on. I did transfer this character. So right now, as I'm recording this series, DDO is going through its transition. So DDO is changing from 32-bit servers to 64-bit servers. So this is actually the first episode of this series I'm recording on the 64-bit servers. So this character was on Thalanis, and it is now on Shadowdale. So one of the unfortunate, I'm going to go ahead and watch, yeah, I should not walk into traps. One thing that unfortunately is they go through this transition. They're having some issues with server performance. So hopefully there isn't a bunch of lag. We don't hit lag spikes, but there's been a lot of that lately in DDO, unfortunately. The lag has been not in a good state, but hopefully they can get that fixed here before too long. But we'll see. I did start this recording over once because of lag. I walked into this quest and got a lag spike, so I decided just to start the recording over. I had to do that little intro twice, but that's okay. Yeah, these ogres can hit pretty hard, so watch your health. Yeah, tried to hit my cleave there. It was on cooldown, but always got a wolf. Wolves and cats in this game are actually quite deadly because they can trip you like that, and when you're tripped, you're just helpless. All right, we got a shrine over here if we need it. Don't really need it. We'll just hold off on that. Got to go all the way to this end room to get what we need to move on to the next phase. I was trying to hit my action boost there and I hit the wrong button. All right. Got the silver key, which is what we need. Yeah, there's some hard-hitting enemies as well. I mean, you want to make sure you have 100% fortification. I mean, particularly in Relic of the Sovereign Pass, there's some Durgar which use picks, and picks have a ×4 crit multiplier, so they can be real nasty if they crit you, so you want to watch out for that. So make sure you have 100% fortification. And I mean, another reason just 100% fort is so useful. So I know I've said it before, but if you got to get a fort item as soon as possible, go ahead and actually pay attention. I'm getting really lazy, actually, so I got hit once. That's fine. Playing a tanky build, I often get pretty lazy versus when I'm playing a squishy caster, because I know I can just take, I can take the hits from traps. And it's also just a bad habit from playing on my main account where my character has a bunch of just like I think 93, 92 Reaper points at this point, which Reaper points let you take. And I think I've talked about this previously in the series, but there's Reaper enhancements right here, which you can see on your tree. You can look at, but you get Reaper XP by doing Reaper quests. And if you get points, you can fill out this tree, and it gives you just tons of extra HP. So if you have a lot of Reaper enhancements, you have a lot of extra HP. And now a lot of that only works in Reaper mode, but a lot of it does not. Particularly the first 4 cores do apply outside of Reaper mode. So it's a nice HP bonus, even if you don't particularly care about playing Reaper too much. So this is one of the most infamous sections of DDO in terms of DM narration. So the hatchery repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again. I actually should go ahead and use shield. Yeah, see, one of the tough things about doing this free-to-play right now, this point in the series, is I do not have access, and I should go farm out that helmet from the Diplomatic Impunity chain in Lord's March, which I should go ahead and farm and get out soon, because it does have True Seeing on it, and I do not have access to True Seeing yet. Now, I did forget, I could go buy some True Seeing scrolls. I'm not sure what my success rate is right now with UMD on those, but that's another option. If you don't have an item, you can, if you have UMD, you can use True Seeing scrolls. So that's maybe something I should have bought in preparation for this video, but I haven't. So this part of the quest, you want to just go in all these little cubby holes, because at this point we gotta meet these requirements up here in the quest, which is slay 4 of Whisperdoom's daughters, and also slay, let me go use this this right here, and also we got to slay 4 of the daughters and 6 of the Carthul enchanters, which are the Ogre Magi. But they are all in this northeast section, so you just want to hit every little cubby hole here, and you'll find them all. They are only here in the northeast. They're not in other sections of the dungeon. The things that can be in any section of the dungeon are those items we talked about earlier that you can turn into the NPC. The other thing is when we get to the northwest section of the quest, Whisperdoom, who's the boss, she actually roams the halls over there, so you never really know where she's going to be either. Sometimes you find her fast, sometimes you don't, so we'll see. Just have to see. We get to that section. Yeah, so it's really painful not having True Seeing right now, and I kind of regret not looking into True Seeing scrolls before. But yeah, unfortunately, if you don't have True Seeing, then you cannot bypass displacement, which depending on the different types of concealment, they can range anywhere from blur, which is a 20% mischance, to displacement, which is a 50% mischance. There's also lesser displacement, which is there in between. But if you don't have True Seeing, you just have a big mischance to enemies, and there's nothing you can do about it. So therefore, True Seeing is like for melees, it is absolutely required. We're now getting to the point of the game where you really want it. Not a lot of enemies at lower levels really have blur that you have to worry about. But we're getting to the point in the game where you really, really, really got to have it. And when you get later on, like epics and onward, you have to have True Seeing on your set at all times. So on a melee, it's just required. So concealment is separate from incorporality, which incorporality is the effects that say like wraiths or other like ghastly, I guess, undead will often have. So it is different. So having ghostly will not bypass concealment mischance. They are 2 different mischances that do stack, by the way, and you as a player can equip those as well. So there's ghostly items and blur items, displacement items that we as a player can wear as well. But they are 2 different layers of mischance. But yeah, that's my fault for not prepping a little bit more for this quest. It's not the most efficient to be in here without some way to bypass displacement. Which wasn't near as much as of a problem on hard and normal, to be perfectly frank, when I was unlocking on this, but I should have realized that it would be a little worse. We'll see if we can solve that for next time, because the next thing I will do, I probably the Lord's March quest will be the next quest in this series, so maybe I'll get the Teresa site when I run those quests. Okay, so we got 2 daughters left and 3 enchanters. Getting a little bit of server lag. Yeah, I told myself I need to get this episode recorded tonight, so if there is server lag, then we'll just have to bear. If it's really bad, maybe I'll go and edit it out, just so that, I don't know, trim some fat off the video, make it as entertaining as possible. Okay, so we got another batch of hallways to check on. I'm gonna go ahead and check this hallway down here first. Okay, we are good. This is clear. So what I was saying earlier, you see the hatchery from the DM. If you run down the hallways, he'll just start repeating the hatchery, the hatchery, the hatchery, the hatchery. And it's a meme in the DDO community. There are many, many long page threads on the... there's actually one long thread on the DDO forums. It's just people continuously replying to each other saying, the hatchery, the hatchery, the hatchery, the hatchery. These guys we actually can just leave because they're archers. So unless they... I don't think those are... Yeah, I think those are static archers. So as I kind of talked about in a previous episode, if archers, like skeleton archers that stay in one place and don't move, they don't add to dungeon alert. So you actually don't have to kill them. You can just run past them. Unless you're going for like conquest, XP bonus, and you need them for conquest. Don't really ever need to kill them, or unless they're just doing too much damage or unavoidable or something. Go ahead and go down here and get this chest. So these spiders, these spawns of Whisperdoom, they don't add towards our requirement here. It's just the specific named ones that we've been encountering that you can find. Those are the ones we need to kill to advance here. This is a longer quest. I mean, if you're soloing, this one's a lot more efficient in a group for sure. Just because you can split up. It is a big map, so it's nice to be able to split up, get stuff done, multiple things done at the same time. So like you could have one group go southeast while another group goes northeast and does this, but you do need the key we got in the southeast in order to get to the west. So here we go. So this is one of the named ones, you know, Whisperdoom's daughter. Fortunately, this one does not seem to have blur or displacement. I think the Ogre Magi's have displacement. All right, so we got what? A little bit more. I'm going to minimize this map so you guys can see a little bit better, because I do have to pop the map up every once in a while. Make sure I'm going in the right direction.
The hatchery.
The hatchery. There we go. We got another enforcer. Or enchanter, I should say. Yes, this guy's displacement. So it does still say blurry. As far as I know, it will still say blurry when they have displacement. It won't. I don't think it says displaced. It'll say displacement when enemies try to hit you and you have displacement, but not for these guys. So you can kind of see his outline here as he's despawned, but he'll spawn back in. You can't hit him when he's despawned unless you're hitting him with dots. So damage over time spells, something like I don't know. Not what's some of the stacking dot spells? Divine Punishment, I guess, from Cleric is one of them. So this barrier won't drop right here until you've completed the Slayer optional. So if you're wondering why you can't advance, the key that we found in the southeast is for this door, but we can't get through this barrier until the Slayer optional is done. So we got one more Ogre Magi and one more Spider, named Spider. So here's the last of the Ogre Magi's. He's dead. The last Spider should be right here. Yep. This is the last area, I think, that we've not explored yet. Yeah, so they're all of those Slayer, they're not ever going to be in the south, the east, or anything. They're all going to be here in this section. All right. So now we're done with the Slayer. So this barrier is now down. And we have the key from the southeast, so we can unlock this door. And now we just got to find Whisperdoom. And if we see one of those items to turn in to the NPC for a chance at the special named items from this quest, we will grab it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to look for it all and show you all those in this video. But we will go through these hallways. And if I see another goblet, then cool, I'll grab it. I don't really think the gear, I mean, other than the goblet, I think that having a web immunity item will be nice, maybe for certain quests, but they're not like super duper essential gear, but having the cloak will be nice. So I hope I get lucky and get it. It is not guaranteed though. So we're now looking for the main boss. I mean, she can be in a lot of different places. She just, as far as I know, she just roams these hallways, so you can really find her, anywhere here in the northwest. And she can be a tough fight. I mean, back in the day, she was a tough fight. We'll see. I've not fought her on Elite on a character like this week. Not that this character is weak. It's just compared to, a character with a lot of past lives, this character is weak. But I've not fought her with this power level of a character in a long time. I mean, I don't really run this quest at all when I play on the regular servers, just because I don't spend, I have talked about this a lot before in the series, but I just don't spend a lot of time below level 15 anymore. Just my preference. I tend to prefer to play it in game, and I'm a big raider. Alright, so alright, no Whisperdoom here. Checking this hallway just in case. And we got to go back this way anyway. No, we don't have to, I guess, but we will. Go ahead and rebuff here. We will want our buffs whenever we get to the boss. I'm drinking acid resist maybe. Oh, actually, I think I already have that on armor. Alright, let's see. I'd be surprised we don't see her pretty soon. But I guess the pros of not finding her quickly is that we can have a better chance to get another goblet. But yeah, we have, I guess I could check here in the center part. I guess that's the last place I'll look if we don't find her down here. That was a big spider. I got excited for a second, but nope. That is not the spider we're looking for. Sorry, I was about to do a really bad Obi-Wan Kenobi impression. These are not the spiders you're looking for. I found her much quicker than this on each of my playthroughs to unlock these on this on Elite. So she is not here. We can use that shrine if we want to. I don't think I need to. I'll just keep going. We are getting rather unlucky though to have not found her yet. Another reason why it's really nice to split up and have multiple people in this quest. Not required, but nice. Also, as far as I know, she does roam around, so she could still be, she could be in a place that we already went to. Double check me on that. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but I believe so. Here she is. So here we go. Here's the boss. Yeah, we're getting Stinking Cloud. We want to back out of this. Need these clouds. We want to try to get her to follow us. We don't want to. If you get anything like that, you don't want to. You don't want to fight under those dot areas. You're just gonna keep getting drilled with acid damage. So that's it. That is the quest. So like Cloud Kill, any of those type of spells where there's a damage over time effect in an area, always don't fight in that area. Basically, if you're in an area and you can't see because the effect is clouding up your vision, get out of it. Get out of it. Pull the mob out of that area. You don't need to be in there taking needless damage. All right, so we didn't find any goblets or anything, but I still have the one from my previous run. So I was thinking about it when I was doing this run. See, here's the goblet. This is one of the items you can find. When I almost turned it in, but I figured, you know what, I'll save it just in case I don't find another one during my actual playthrough on stream. That way I can still show everyone for the video how the turn-in works. So, okay, nothing really great in terms of items. Okay, so now we're going to go to this guy. This is the guy. If you find the goblet or one of the other two items, you can talk to this guy and turn in your item. So he'll recognize you have it. So he says you possess a silver goblet from the last High Council dinner in Splinter Skull. It's highly valued by the Hobgoblin people. Bestowed upon me. Okay, so I say the goblet is yours. Then he gives us a item list, which could have a named item on it, but unfortunately we got unlucky and there's no cloak. But the goblet can grant you the cloak. I was hoping I'd get that, but I didn't. Is it worth farming for? I don't think so. It's better to just get freedom of movement from something in terms of the web immunity. You can get web immunity from the read and movement spell, and it's also an item. So I would just try to get one of those items. Not easy to get as free to play, but it's pretty common generally on named loot. Well, not super common, but it's not too hard to get. Or if you have a friend, like a cleric can cast it on you, or favorite soul or something. All right, so any of these items we want, not really. Yeah, this is all junk. All right, well, all right. So our dreams of a named item are dashed, but that's okay. We're gonna head over to, we're actually gonna go to Relic of a Sovereign Pass next, but before we do that, we're gonna take a little stop here at the market. Let's go to South Market, I think. I hope it's not the north. I'm trying to remember if it's south. Yeah, here we go. So we're gonna stop here and we're going to actually level up. Before I do that, I actually need to pull up my build on my account. Actually, I'm going to do a little cut here while I get my build. I don't have my build up, so I'm going to go grab my build. I will be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I went and grabbed my build, and after I grabbed it, I realized that I really didn't need to because we don't have a feat at this level that we need to take. So I'm just going to keep taking UMD. And let's see. All right, so we got our level 4. Oh yeah, that's right. We're getting we're now at level 14. This is actually, I forgot, this is a huge level for us because we get Holy Sword, which is amazing. It gives you +1 to the competence bonus of your critical threat range and damage multiplier. So that means additional, basically what that translates to is additional 5% chance for a critical threat, for a critical hit, because we get +1 to our critical threat range, and your range in DDO when you roll, it's based on D20, so it goes from 1 to 20. So more chances for crits, and we also have not just more chance, we also get a competence bonus to critical threat multiplier. So when we get a crit, it's going to hit for an additional multiplier, so more, a lot more. Plus we get Death Ward and Zeal. The Zeal is just a great DPS. It's just 10% double strike, which is a great DPS. So this is a very nice level for us. Death Ward as well, by the way. So we're actually going to go finish up and actually, let's go ahead and swap in spells. Let's see. We also need to go to, we can go ahead and, let's see. No, we'll go ahead and just stop by here and do that. So the reason I took level 14 now and not before this episode is because I did want to do Spawn of Whisperdoom and get the elite bonus, the delving bonus. So I wanted to go ahead and just wait and do that in between quests here in the episode so we can get our delving bonus, because that's Spawn of Whisperdoom was our last level 11 quest. So now we're now up to just running 12. So no reason we can't do that now. So we only have room for one spell right now at level 14, but we'll get more spells as we go. So we unfortunately can't use both Zeal and Holy Sword, and Death Ward right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take Holy Sword right now. It's gonna say our action's too low. Actually, we still are relying on these wisdom wands, and unfortunately in DDO it won't even let you swap in spells if you don't have enough wisdom. But yeah, we'll go ahead and I'm just going to repair real quick. I'm not going to bother selling. I'll do that later. I'll do that off stream. But yeah, we got Holy Swords. We're going to put Holy Sword on our bar here. We're going to have to make some room. That's fine. We'll just do this real quick and swap it here. I don't know, maybe it's just personal preference, but I like putting kind of the most essential buffs more to the left. So I want to put Holy Sword first. All right, let's finally make our way to House Deneth. So this is a bit of a weird quest in that the quest giver is actually in House Deneth, but the quest itself takes place in House Kundarak. So we're gonna go ahead and go this way. We could actually pop out here, I guess. Enter this way. I usually go to this, so north we have the Stormreach teleporter that can bring you to any of them, but you can actually also enter this way through one of these gates if you want to. All right. So the quest giver is in the Sovereign Host Temple, which, by the way, the cleric spell, there's a cleric spell that actually teleports you to this area. It's kind of the poor man's version of teleport, is that divine spell. All right, so we're going to talk to Kinsey here. Get this quest. I could have picked it up. I thought about picking it up off when I wasn't recording, but I figured I would not do that and run over here again just between these two quests just to show you guys where to actually pick the quest up. All right, so now we're going to run to the Stormreach teleporter here in the north, because we're going to go to House Kundarak for this one. We actually have an enhancement point as well. I guess we could go ahead and spend this. Is there anything? Yeah, I've not been super meticulous about optimizing these enhancements. I mean, I guess I'll take more crit damage, but it's not. Maybe later off stream I might optimize these a little bit more. I think it's fairly optimized now, but I just haven't put as much thought into it as I probably should. But it's fairly optimized right now. We'll go ahead and use Expeditious Retreat here. I'm not too worried about running out of charges. We're also to the point where we have a speed 19 item anyway, So it's not like that big of a deal to get the extra 6% run speed, which is nice. One of the things I don't like about lower levels in DDO is you unfortunately are slow. There's some things you can do about that. Like there's if you're a veteran player and you want to, if you have access to if you're, well, you don't need to be a vet, but if you raid the heroic Abbot raid, which is from the pack Necropolis Part 4, is a raid which actually has a chance for an item, which is a quiver, which if you have that quiver, it's minimum level 1 and it applies 30% striding. So you can start right out of the gate at level 1 with 30% striding. So that's an item a lot of vets go for. You can also get it through Tiefling Scoundrel Past Lives, which is an iconic. If you get 3 stacks of that iconic, you can also get 30% striding at level 1. So there are some ways to get 30% striding at low levels. Otherwise, I think your best option is to use, at least at very low levels and for a little while until you get a better item, is to use those Korthos. This Korthos boots are definitely, in my opinion, the best item from there. All right, so Relic of Sovereign Past. This quest is a little bit the opposite of the Spawn of Whisperdoom. So in Spawn of Whisperdoom, we started in the southeast and went counterclockwise. And in this quest, you can see, because this Fog of War is already unlocked, in this quest, we're actually going to start in the southwest and go clockwise. So last quest we went southeast counterclockwise, this quest southwest and go clockwise. The only parts to complete the quest, the parts that are required, is the southwest, the west, and the north. In the north is where the end fight is, but you have to clear those paths to complete. If you want to do the optional area where we can get items from the adamantine ore, you would go to the east, but this eastern part here. But you don't have to go here. Only go here if you want to actually do the get the items. You can just ignore this if you just want to complete the quest. Okay, since we're level 14, we can go ahead and use our level 14 hireling, which this hireling actually has mass death wards, so we can go ahead and apply that. Why not? Go ahead and pop our wisdom wand here, just so we can cast Holy Sword. So you all have seen me a lot in the series. I had some people comment on this, me using the wands so much, like the +4 wands. That's kind of a personal preference. I've been doing that a lot, and it's also kind of a product of me doing the series the way I'm doing it, without using any named items, just limiting myself to what I find. But really, as a new player, I mean, you're going to want to just have equipped a wisdom item. It's a lot easier in terms of, well, it's a lot, what's the word? It's a lot less hassle to just have a wisdom item, so you don't have to worry about, managing low cooldowns. But I decided to just use the wands, just so I can optimize my gear slots a little bit more. Okay. You don't want to hang out too much in that center section. There's a lot of nasty fire elementals and other things that'll plink you for a lot of damage, so you do want to kind of stay away from that area if you can. So curse, we can clear that with a curse pot, which is what I just did there. Getting a little bit of server lag. So as I was saying before, this is DDO is going through this transition period right now as I'm recording this. The first episode, so that web immunity cloak would have been nice in this quest if we would have gotten it from the turn-in for this, right? But DDO is going through a transition period where, unfortunately, they're getting some server lag, and I'm actually getting some right now, even though I'm entangled. I think I'm still lagging right now. There we go. Yeah, getting some server lag. Yeah, unfortunately, they're going through a transition period where they're getting a lot of bad server performance. See, right now, it's just, the server's just lagging. Nothing I can do about it. But hopefully they can fix that soon. Because they just upgraded everyone to fancy new servers, but they're having some growing pains for sure. Alright, there we go. Hopefully we don't have any lag wipes from the server performance. We'll see. Seems to be clear now. Yeah, fire resist is not a bad thing to have in this quest. Not a bad thing at all. Big bar remnants.
As you continue down, the muffled sounds of chanting can be heard from somewhere before you.
Yeah, these casters can definitely be a little nasty.
Chanting appears to come from the other side of the large iron-bound door at the base of this slope. The rooms to either side probably contain the opening.
Okay, we got a lever here and a lever across. Got some clay golems, which honestly, these are probably my favorite monster in DDO. I've been using it forever. If you've noticed for my my logo on YouTube, you look below the video, you'll see clay golems. It's been my little channel mascot forever. Yeah, unfortunately getting more server lag, but you know, I told myself I was hoping, kind of delaying recording episodes because of the lag, and it's been a little better on the new servers lately, but I told myself, I mean, I restarted this episode one time because of the lag, but told myself I wasn't going to do that anymore. If I get some lag, sorry guys, you'll just have to, if it's really, really bad, maybe I'll edit it out, but hopefully we can avoid the lag monster. So, as far as the upgrades, I am going to claim one item. So I did get the, obviously, you know, I've been using the necklace for quite a while now, but I'm going to go ahead and probably purchase the bracers as well. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're kind of worth buying if you want to do this for the ore. They do have a heroism clicky on them, so for right now, for us, you know, we don't, I guess eventually we'll use greater heroism scrolls, but for right now, we can go ahead and use this bracers. I mean, you can always buy heroism potions, which is what I have, but having the clicky is kind of nice because it just saves you from having to buy potions, because you can have continuously reforming use 3 uses of heroism. So we got the lever. You want to make sure you pull this lever. That's the main thing you need. For this, you got to pull that lever. Pull that lever. I think we got everything else we needed. Got everything for the chest, I think. Yeah. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, the other thing I also forgot to mention, I did manage in a silver roll. Did get a Siberian spirit cake, so I got another spirit cake. In case we need that. So unfortunately getting a bunch of lag right now. More lag, yay. Come on, DDO servers, work. See, the thing that's really unfortunate is I was getting no lag as I was unlocking these quests today. Then it hits when I'm recording. Just bad luck. There's also, this by the way is a quest where it is extremely helpful if you have access to Dimension Door. And really I could have, if I didn't want the Cleric Hireling, I could have gotten, there's a level 11 Hireling that has access to D-Door. So I could have got him for this quest. But D-Door is really nice because it'll bring you back to the entrance to the dungeon. And as you can see, we got all these long branching paths way off to the side that if you don't have D-Door, you have to backtrack. So if you have D-Door, Dimension Door spell, it's really nice for this quest in particular. Go ahead and rebuff. I think those casters did dispel us, unfortunately. You're going to watch your hireling out here in these areas. They will jump right into the lava sometimes. I know I told you all, I think in the pit episode about this, but a really good tactic, hirelings, is jump, and as you're in the air, hit this. Teleport. It will force them to teleport directly on top of you. If you don't jump, if you do it while they're in the air, they'll always teleport directly on top of you. But if you don't do that, this button will just have them run in your direction. So sometimes that can result in them running through a trap or just taking longer to get to where you are. Okay.
The rumbling voices of dwarves can be heard behind the
So we are going to go through the barracks here. You can skip these side doors, but if you want to do the adamantine ore section, then you need a key, which comes from silver key, which comes from one of these barrack rooms. I believe, I'm not sure if it's random or not. I think it might be. I'm pretty sure it is. But if you just want to finish the quest, then you don't need to go in these side rooms. You can just avoid the fighting by not going in there. There's a shrine though up here. You may want to hit that one up. Probably hit the shrine on my way back. Yeah, so here's a chest. This should have the key we need in it. Yeah, so there's the silver key. Alright, so now we can just run to the end and we got the key. So the objective that's down here is obtain the sword Tessius. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Tessius? Not entirely sure exactly how you pronounce it. Alright, so now similar to the other hallway.
flank the locked steel door at the end of this hall.
Okay, someone randomly invited me to a guild. You'll get that sometimes. I don't often get it in a quest. Usually I'm in a public area, but yeah, someone asked me to join their guild. But I'm remaining guildless for this whole playthrough.
The clan warden awaits you in this room. The cages behind him hold what
Sorry, actually, I don't think it's... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm actually mixed that up. So we aren't getting the sword in this path. It's the next path in the north. Where we get it. Here we just pull another lever. Yeah, sometimes the game does this to me. I'm not totally sure why, but it'll just keep interrupting. I'm not sure if I have a key that's sticking or what. But okay, you can do that. There's not really any reason to pull this lever. I mean, you just spawn the dogs. I guess I'll just kill them anyway, but no reason really to do that. It's a locked door, I believe. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe killing the dogs there lets you in this room. I don't know. Anyways, now I gotta head back. If we had D-door, we would use the D-door. But we don't, so we're gonna head back this way and go to the north. So I think I actually misspoke now I think about it in the southwest. I apologize, I've misspoke a few times. I try not to in these, in these recordings, but, when I'm running these quests that I'm not familiar with, inevitable, I'm gonna make some mistakes because I just don't run these quests very much. But that key, so to get to the optional adamantine area, I believe you go northwest and just have to get that silver key. I believe that's the only requirement to get to the northeast. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe I might have said at the beginning of this quest that you go southwest. I meant to say northwest to get that key, so you can go in the adamantine area there in the northeast. Oh yeah, and I said I was going to shrine. Let's go ahead and shrine. Let's do that. May as well get my Expeditious Retreat stuff back. Rebuff. Get my action boost back and all that. Go ahead and have the Hireling Shrine. Make sure that when you get to rest shrines as well, don't forget to have your Hireling Shrine. They won't. Sometimes they'll do it by themselves, but sometimes they won't. Alright, so this part is going to be a little challenging on Elite. There's a lot of deadly poison traps up here in the north. Just going to be careful. Really probably should have had... Don't know if I have Acid Absorb on my gear. Don't think I do. I know I have Acid Resistance on an item, which is something that's good. Better than the 10 pots. 10 resist pots. Do I have Acid Resist? I don't think I do. Or Acid Absorb. I think I did, and I might have gotten rid of the item. Well, we'll just be careful. But yeah, if you've got Acid Absorption, obviously that's going to be best case scenario here. There's also, so there's an optional kill the Durgar summoners. They're up here on the cliffs around this center area. So like here's one up there. I'm not gonna do that optional, but if you want to do that optional, you need to go around this room and kill all those casters on the cliffs there. So sometimes your hireling likes to stay back and fight stuff he doesn't need to fight. But we will go ahead and probably, let's have him, yeah, throw a Death Ward on us, because why not? Have him stay in place there. Really got to be careful here. These blackguards are not stunnable. I really shouldn't be trying to hit them with a stunning blow. So yeah, if we run through, I mean, my best tactic here is just to try to run through best we can. Stop periodically. I'll summon my hireling up here. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, make sure you use the jump. Use the jump trick, because you don't want your hireling getting in a trap. There we go. Yeah, it seems to work well for me if I just, whoops, okay. If I just run through usually, and I've talked about this a lot in the series, but oftentimes in DDO, if you just sprint through, and it doesn't happen all the time, you can often get through a trap before it activates. Yeah, sometimes they just love going for your hireling too. Okay, a little bit of server lag. There he goes. There he goes. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's something with my keyboard. I think it's double clicking on that key. Let me try to manually do it. Yeah, it's something with my keyboard, I think. I think that key is sticking and it's causing me to get my pulls interrupted. I probably should get a new keyboard. This one is pretty old that I'm using. I think I've been using it for, I don't know, maybe probably 7-8 years. Might be getting a little worn out. Or maybe I just need to clean it. That's possible too. Okay, I'm having to throw heal. So heal also cleared the stat. That's one of the good things about heal spell is it doesn't just heal your hit points, it also heals status effects. A lot of different status effects. Okay. Made it to the top. And they go right from behind. Thanks, guys. Okay, so there's the sword. There's also a room I used for... Okay, so this guy, I believe you can actually... Let me get prayer and stuff. Well, let me get my wisdom here. So... Skills. I'm just wondering if I, by chance... I don't know what the check is here, actually, but I'm going to see if I can get... There's a check... Okay, so I'm not going to get it. There's a chance. I believe you can bypass the fighting here. Yeah, if you can make one of those checks, you can bypass the fighting and just complete the quest. I'm pretty sure instead of fighting him, it just brings the barrier down. You can claim the sword. So claiming the sword does complete the quest. So there we go. We got the chest over here, but we don't want to recall yet because we can do this whole Eastern optional section, which I'll show you with the adamantine ore. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go make our way south. Again, another great situation where we can use D-Door if we have it. So the adamantine ore we need, it only is in this optional section, so it doesn't drop in other areas of the dungeon. A lot of things you'll notice about these traps is they might start high in the ceiling, so there's a spot you can run under them. You've seen me doing that a lot. Like here we can see it's going out the right side, so we can just run over here to avoid it. Alright. Let's make our way to the optional area. Okay, and now we got our silver key that we got from the not the north southwest, but the north or the west area here. We got our key so we can unlock this and get in. I'm trying to get through this. Okay. This fire elemental should not chase us down this hallway. Okay. So all you want to do for this section, just go down all the little paths you can find. Here we are. So here's one. This is the animating ore. This is what you're looking for. These are what you want to pick up for the items. And if you need more, they don't disappear when you leave the quests. So if you need more, you can always just keep farming them. If you want multiple items, just collect the ore, recall, reset the quest. So lump of coals we don't need. Although the adamantine ore looks similar. They're both like round black collectibles, but just want the ore.
A faint glow emanates from the pocket of minerals here. Probably similar areas throughout the mine.
There is some on all these little sections. So here's some, and I have some already from the last time when I ran this on hard to unlock. So I already have 12, but there is, I believe, a maximum of 15 you can get. You can double check me on the wiki, but the DDO wiki, but I believe that is correct. But odds are you probably won't find all of them. But you can try. Another good tip here is, and I mentioned this before in the series, but your Q key to auto target stuff. So you can see I'm cycling through this targetable stuff right now. You want to be really relying on that, spamming that Q button, because it will show you where the adamantine ore is. You do need a throwing weapon also, by the way. So for this section, I should have mentioned that being a dungeon, you can't hit this with your weapon, so you do need a throwing weapon, but you should have one already. I mean, I've mentioned this a bunch in this series. Every melee character needs to have a throwing weapon on them for situations just like that. There's something you have to hit with a throwing weapon. Just any kind of returnable, any kind of return thrower with return on it is good. Returning, I guess I should say it correctly, is the effect. Here's another adamantine ore. I mean, I guess you don't technically have to have returning on it. It's just, it's nice because you don't have to constantly get new stacks. But if all you have is 100, you know, plus one throwing daggers or whatever, I mean, that's fine. But just not ideal because then you have to worry about refilling your ammo at some point. We go. Here's more. I really don't. I'm just kind of showing you guys where the stuff is. I really, since I farmed it from last time, I really have enough. But I guess I'll go ahead and pick all of it up anyway. other than the Nightforge Gorget, I'll show you when we get to the loot list more in depth, but there's actually some really nice items from this, not just the fortification, not just the heroism clicky, which is okay, but there's also a really nice longsword, which I'm not going to use on this build because I'm a great sword build, but there's a nice longsword, a nice hammer, some other good weapons here that you can use. Yeah, my key's sticking again. But you can farm this and buy them. And again, like, even if you don't want to, you don't have to run this on elite. So the thing about the war drops is they don't change on the lower difficulties. So if you just want war, you can just come in here on casual. There's no reason not to. The only thing you're going to lose is if you're not completing. So if you're not going to complete the quest anyway, you're not going to get XP regardless. So there's really no reason to not just come in here on casual if all you're doing is farming ore for the items. So this is the last wing over here with adamantine ore. Then we'll go to this south area. That's where the NPC is. Durgar unfortunately have high fort saves, so they are saving some of my attacks. Alright, more server lag. Woot. This might be outdated if you're watching this way after I've recorded this, like if you're watching this like 2026, 27 or something, but I guess say right now in 2025, the lag from they're really having a lot of issues, man, with the server transfers and all this. There's the game has not been running well. Not running well at all. But it has improved, and I hope they continue to improve it towards on an issue. But it's been an issue tonight for sure during our recording. Another adamantine ore. I might have found them all at this point. I mean, odds are I probably ran past one. So here's another lever which we have to hit with. Doesn't really make any sense, right? You should think you should be able to go up here and hit it with your hand or a weapon, but you actually have to use a throwing weapon. You might, a lot of times in quests now they do, and I'm not sure, I haven't been breaking every breakable, but sometimes when there's requirements like that, they'll really it's not a requirement because this whole section is optional, but a lot of times they will hide a not all the time, but a lot of times they will hide like a bow and arrow. Like if you run, it's not a free to play area, but another example of this is Legend of Jack Gibbers, or it's in the epics it's called a Legend Revisited. That quest is an example of a quest where you got to hit some levers, but they do hide some bow and arrows and arrows in a little chest for you. Okay, so this guy right here is the NPC we're looking for. Okay, so yeah, I don't need to go over here. Anyways, this guy right here, we could hit this guy. He might annoy us a little bit. Let's just hit him with a thrower. Why not? Okay. He might plink us while we're looking at the NPC, but here's the NPC. So we have, how many ore do we have 23, so this is combined from this time and last time. So we'll talk to him, and he will show us his list of items. Okay, so he's got armors. These are bad. They're not really good. This is what I'm going to get. So this is the Nightforge armbands, improved false life, and a heroism clicky. Let's see. We need to unlock our item, I believe. Yeah. Sometimes the game doesn't, if you lock an item, sometimes it doesn't play too well with some of these turn-in tables. Anyways, we got this is what I'm going to get, this Nightforge armbands. I really have enough for 2 things. I could get the helm, I guess. It's not very good. It's just wisdom, but we could. I could if I want. But the good things, Night Forge Gorget, I got before, so you want to get that if you haven't already, or you don't have some other fortification item already at this point. Some of the nice items here, so the hammer, not the hammer, I'm sorry, I think the dagger, yeah, 17 to 20, I believe this one has extended crit range, and also the longsword does. So like, yeah, so longsword, see, this is a base 15 to 20 crit range, and that crit range is not keen, so it does stack with improved critical. So this is a really, really nice weapon for low levels. Just get that big crit range, so you get a lot of crits. That's why it's good. In DDO, the meta around weapon damage really focuses almost entirely on critical threat profile. Not entirely, like there's other factors. You got sentient jewels and such, but a huge focus of the meta is on critical threat range and critical threat multiplier. The bigger that is, generally the better the weapon is in DDO. So critical threat range, critical threat multiplier, super important. And this is why this item is good, because it has a much bigger critical threat range than your typical longsword. But we're just going to take, I don't think I need, I'll just go ahead. Well, I'm not going to be back in here, and I have 2 items, so I'll go ahead and just we'll get the Night Forge armbands. And I'll go ahead and just, I guess, I probably won't really use it. But again, I won't be back in here. I mean, I guess I could get the Night Forge spike, which isn't bad. It's a returning weapon, but I'll just get the helmet. I guess, worst case scenario, I could swap this on to cast my spells, right? Instead of having to rely on this wand. So we'll go ahead and just take this. And it has it has a protection from evil, which is okay. I mean, that's something, if you're getting, can make you immune to certain certain effects that can CC you. So we'll go ahead and get one of those. Why not? All right, so there's our items. We got them. So that is it, guys. Let's go ahead and, well, you know what? I'll just instead of boring you guys with a run all the way to House D, we'll just go ahead and finish the episode now, since the quest is done. So guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll be back in the future for more episodes. Let me know what you think about any of the things I talked about today. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you for the next one. Take care.